living the dream.
What part of the world are you in today?
You have to use a stick pin and a map to keep track of me, but I'm in Oregon.
Nice.
I'm at the home office in Oregon. Yeah. We'll be here for the summer.
I love it, man.
I love it. Everybody's pouring in. I love Wednesday mornings. It's so awesome. I've got some great content for you guys today too.
Yeah. Well, it's very timely because, man, any listing that you get that's priced right,
Gold.
it's gold.
It's gold.
Yeah.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here. My name is Randy Byrd. I am partners with Mr. Tom Daves, Don Yoakum, Matthew, just a slew of leaders here that we've put this together for you. And this is really all about you and building our organization, building our tribe, building our team. Really excited to be here. We do a rotational thing where each leader takes different topics and things. And in lieu of a speaker today, I thought I'd get into the tactics of getting listing inventory now, what's working with both coaching clients, what's working in their boot camps and the different things that we do. And I think that's where the highest value is going to be for today. And it's a little sneak peek of what I'll be presenting at Byrd in about a month in Texas. So hopefully you enjoy that piece of it. Before I get started, we have a couple new people that joined the organization recently, and I'd like to introduce them officially. I know they've done some official posting on Facebook, tagging Don and Tom and I in that. Pretty excited about it. But Mr. Steve Alves, he's in the top right of my screen, and his beautiful bride, Jamie, which I don't see on my screen, but I think she's here somewhere as well. Anyway, what I'd like to do is just kind of publicly introduce them to the organization. Steve Alves, Don and I met with him, I think 5 years ago now. Actually, it was right about this time of year, 5 years ago. And really, really loved this guy. He's a classy guy. He was running Premier Property Group up in Oregon. And, 1,300 agents, 11, 12, 13 offices. They were expanding. I couldn't keep track. I just kept seeing them pop up. And he was really the force of that company's success, their growth. And we just couldn't be more pleased to have Steve join the EXP organization, tribe, family, and his beautiful wife, Jamie. They went with us to Cabo. But Steve, maybe just a couple words, say where you're from, what you're doing now, what we could do to support you. And really just, I'm just excited about the public ability to announce you now.
Yeah, hey, thanks a lot, Randy. It has been a long time, and very excited to be here as well. I spent a lot of the time in the Northwest, kind of by you, just outside of Portland, Oregon, but I grew up in the Bay Area, Santa Cruz, California, and love that area. But we're pretty focused on growing our business again. Jamie does most of our sales. I love to go out and meet agents. I've been going on tours. We just got back from Flagstaff. We have a little house up there and met a few agents. I got a guy coming to the meeting today and another one next week. We go see Rob Flick on Wednesdays if we're in town. So I think we've got 3 or 4 people already, and another person in transition, and a couple others that are taking a serious look at EXP. But we're really excited to be here, and thanks for all your help. Appreciate it.
100%. And I know Don and Tom and I have all had to clear our calendars because you're hitting the ground running, and there's no doubt that you're going to be at 500 agents in no time. And I think that's a nice message for people to see, that somebody coming new into the business at this stage, the greatest opportunities for growth are ahead of us. If you look at what's going on with EXP stock in the last, 30, 60, 90 days, it's up 27% this year to date. And we've had a big spike, and it's just good things are going on in a time that is challenging for the market, to say the least. So if Jamie comes on, let me know so I can introduce her real quick as well, but I'm going to get on. Oh, she is. Okay. Jamie, Randy, how you doing? Oh, there you are. I had to switch screens. You're muted right now. Do you want to say a couple things to the family, to the group? And we'd like to welcome you to the family.
Oh, I'm here. Hi.
Yep, I see you.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jamie Alves. I'm Steve's wife, and we came from I got in late, so I don't know what he's already said, but we came from a large company in the Northwest called Premier Property Group, and we're in Arizona full time. And we have been talking to Randy and all these guys for over 4 years, and decided to, after Cabo and Brent's event, hey, why are we not here? We're super excited to be. It feels like the old days back when we were all at KW. Just a lot of camaraderie, classes, trainings, help, leadership, and people that are serious about their businesses. So we're really stoked to be here. So thank you.
I love that, Jamie. We really, we do. We've been friends for years, and it wasn't about EXP. It was just you're classy people, classy individuals. You've built massive businesses, mad respect for you. So I literally have goosebumps. The fact that we could actually talk about this openly. It's been going on for a while. It's public on Facebook, so now I know it's okay to talk.
Yeah. Yeah,
but,
for sure.
welcome to the family.
Thank
I
you.
see people waving and saying congrats and welcome. So thank you for that. Thanks for chiming in, and we appreciate you. Glad you're here.
Awesome. Thank
you,
you.
Jamie.
Appreciate you guys.
100%. All right, guys. So as promised, I'm going to get into some listing hacks today. As a matter of fact, I'd like to call them tactics instead of hacks, because hack is implying that there's some secret way to do it. Some of this stuff is foundational, but I went through the trainings and the coaching that we do. I took the top 15 things that have proven to be listing opportunities now and boiled it down to my top 5. And they're going to be in a particular order. But the reality is I want to give you a highlight of the market first. And if you're not muted, please mute yourself just so we don't have any background noise. And if you want to chat and ask any questions, feel free to do that. But real quick, a look at the market. Your number one job as an agent, bar none, is to be education-based, data-driven evidence to the clients. They need the evidence. You have to be able to show them what's going on in the market. So as an example, I'm going to share my screen and show you just a snapshot of what's going on in my market. So this, when we're talking to our clients, and Tom, can you nod your head if you see that okay on your screen? Awesome. Thank you. So in my particular market, Willamette Valley, close to where Jamie and Steve were, this is what the statistics look like between 22 and 23. So you could talk mathematical certainty to them. You want to have data-driven evidence. You don't want to say the market's great, the market's bad. They're getting bombarded by the news. We have to give them factual data. So you could say the sales price is actually up 2.7% over last year, right? Closed sales are down 32%, but if you look at the bottom of the screen, it's because listings are down 26.8%. And you notice these little decimal points are important because it's giving you validity that you know the data. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but you could see 99.9% list price. It's down 3%. It was at 103%. As we're starting to see a little more time on the market in the third column, 65 days, over 32% increase over last year, we're starting to see some of these things balance out. But this paints a very clear picture that we're still in a seller-based market, data-driven, focus on the data-driven stuff. And all this is available, and no matter what MLS you're in, you can find these reports. I particularly like this one. We can do it by county, we can do it by city, do it all these things. But really know your data when you're having these conversations with your people. So as I start getting into listing opportunity and tactics, this data has got to lead the way, right? The data's got to lead the way. Home values across the nation have continued to increase. The other part of this is there's 5 million homes shy of what we need to supply the household demand in the United States, meaning that we can't build enough houses. There's not enough inventory. And now we're starting to see institutional buyers buying up big chunks of properties. That's going to be in the highlight of the political arena, in my opinion, in the short future. But when you have these Blackstones, these big companies buying thousands and thousands of homes and turning them into rentals because they're good for their portfolio, that's enhancing the listing challenge that we're having with inventory. Inventory is still very, very low. We were seeing 2 and 3 months of inventory that gets you into that buyer's market at around 4 months. Now we're back down. It's moving back down in the direction of getting back into that 1.5 months of inventory and less in some areas. The buyers have gotten used to 6 to 7% interest rates. It's just reality. They've gotten used to a 6.5, 7% interest rate. Now the rates are coming down a little bit. We believe the feds, or educationally reading what I do, we don't believe the feds are going to move the rates up again. If they do, it's going to be a minor one. So we're seeing the ceiling of that very aggressive rate increasing. They raised the rates 5% in a short period of few months, 5%, 50, 75 basis points every time, very aggressively. And, 5% increase over where we were. So that's how we got from our 2.5 to 7. So here's what's going to happen in the future. And it's your job to change the narrative around this. the market's going to explode when they start reducing rates. Whether it's a political change, a election cycle, whenever that rate starts changing, I believe it's 24 to 25. We start seeing them start coming back in below the 6s, into the 5s, maybe into the 4s again. No crystal ball. It's going to open up the floodgates, because there's nothing that's slowed down the real estate market, even with all these rates. So something to consider when you're having the narrative with people. Okay. So as we start into the listing category of this, and I know, I hope that this is valuable for you today. I put them in my order, right? This is my rough presentation of what I'm going to be presenting at Byrd in Texas, because we want to have, we want to have inventory conversations. We want to find out how to get more business, how to have you stay in this business. You're in our family, you're in our circle, in our tribe. So in order, my order, number 5 is absentee owners. I think absentee owners are the number, it's a very high level of probability that you could have conversations with them. And you're going to see a lot of dialogue around this right now. There's a lot of places to find absentee owners. Some of the things I want to do for you is give you the tactics and things that you could do. One of the places is RedX. RedXDiscount.com, I think, is Ricky Cruz. Personally, he's got some branded things, but RedX is a place you can go, as well as PropStream, PROP Stream. These are paid services, but you can literally put in absentee owner, how long they've owned the house. There's a lot of very, very different things you could do with that. But communicating to them and being a problem solver is going to be the big thing for you. Not just, hey, are you thinking of selling? They didn't reach out to you, so they're not looking to sell. So it's a prospecting call. And you could say that. You could say, hey, I've got some ideas on your property. If you have any interest in selling, willing to pay top dollar for it, I'd like to show you how and why, and be a problem solver for them. It's likely going to be a tax implication, the challenges of a 1031, not needing the cash to flow into their business tax-wise, or not knowing how to get out of that lower interest rate into a newer interest rate and another investment. It's about problem solving, in my opinion, when it comes to absentee owners. And I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to show you this. This is Ricky Carruth, and he's talking about this specific subject. And this is why it's ringing high on my charts. This is becoming up a lot more. So I'm going to share this with you. Sorry, let me share with my sound. All right, short 1-minute clip. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about YouTube Shorts in just 1 second. So here we go.
New home listings in this recession is at an all-time low. Why? Because people don't want to give up their 3% interest rates. So where do you, as a real estate agent, find new listings? Well, look for property owners who don't live in the property that they're going to sell. These are called absentee owners. These are second homeowners, Airbnb owners, vacation property owners, long-term investment owners. And here's where you find them. Go to redxdiscount.com and hit the products tab at the top menu. Now invest a little into GeoLeads Plus. Now you pick out any subdivision you want and get all the owners' cell phones and email addresses. From there, go to filters and click on listing and check the box non-owner occupied. And boom, you have all the absentee owners you can stand. The number of new home listings in this
is really a crazy opportunity for you. And I love how Ricky outlays it. That's a 60-second short, by the way, YouTube short. We're going to talk about that in a second. That is a great category for you. And one little highlight that I want to share with you is there's a video that I just watched. It's 58 minutes and it's with Grant Cardone. And it was really spectacular. So I'm going to put it in chat so you can get it and watch that YouTube. But if you want to watch absentee owners, how to purchase them with no money down, it was one of the best brain-blowing interviews I've seen in a while. Even Grant Cardone said, dude, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. How did I not think and know of this? But it's really, really special. It's with Pace Morby. And if you haven't followed that, check that out. All right. So let me rock and roll to the next thing. So number 4 on this is the meat and potatoes. It's the foundational stuff, but most likely some of you are not doing it. It's the actual listing lead levers that you should be doing every day in your business, which is 3 things. It's your SOI, sphere of influence. It's your farm, geo farm, either geographically or online, right? So it could be a geographical farm, or it can be an online geo farm, meaning geo fence around an area. You don't have to think geographically. It could be demographically. All right. But lead levers in this is really important to stay with your SOI, with your database, with your farm, and then more importantly, your niche, whatever your niche or niche, depending on what part of the country you're from. The riches are in the niches, right? This is an area that you want to really focus your attention on and not be shotgunning to everything to everybody, whether it's waterfront property, whether it's ranches, whether it's new home buyers, first-time home buyers, new construction, whatever it may be. This is going to be your listing lead lever for your particular niche. And I think this is a really important one. And as you're connecting with your database, something I think is valuable to show you, and you might have to take a picture of the screen real quick. This is a fire text that we teach, and it is straight fire. Bill Pipes and I came up with this when we did the business planning clinic. But real quick, take a picture of this screen. You'll want to replicate this, but it's super simple. Hey, Bob, hope you and the fam are well. The real estate market is bananas, 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 right? And you want to put these icons in there. In case you haven't heard, the prices have really risen this year. Curious about the increased value of your home, ? Thanks, Randy. Really simple. And just think about going through your database of 200, 300, 100, whatever the number is, and sending out 10 of these texts a day, and just watch the response you get from that. It's pretty cool. Okay.
Were you going to share your screen with that?
My apologies. There you go. I'll leave it up for a few more seconds so you can take a picture of that. Thank you, Tom. All right. So really simple fire text. Don't complicate it. Put the emojis in there like that, and it works very well. The fire behind it's just a graphic. This is just going to be a text from you. You could do it in your CRM, but I suggest you do it. And by the way, we're going to talk about DMs in a minute. This is a great DM message as well. All right. So everybody got that, hopefully. And if not, do you still need a second? Anybody? All right. So next thing I'm going to list, number 3, it's going to bleed into that. It's social media. YouTube is obviously the number one eyes on the planet. And there's a lot of people being really successful with YouTube. We're really seeing that become a fast track to social media stardom is through YouTube specifically. And to be more specific, the YouTube Reels. The Reels are either 15 or 60 seconds. You just saw Ricky's 60-second reel. Look at how much detail and content he got out in 1 minute. It's really amazing. And that's why the consumers are consuming these, because they're short, 15 seconds, 60 seconds. You could do YouTube Reels super easy. Matter of fact, if you're on your mobile, if you go to your YouTube on your mobile, there's an option to hit reel on there. And you could pick 50 or 15 or 60 seconds. And you could literally just go, hey, just got out of this house, talk about whatever's going on, and it will post it to your YouTube like that. It's really, really a cool feature. And if you look at these influencers like Ricky and so on, they're starting to have hundreds of these reels on their YouTube pages. And by the way, they count towards the same minutes as your regular YouTube videos. So the long format used to be really a high algorithm. Now the shorts have taken that over, where that's increasing your traffic and your exposure. It's really a great opportunity. And here's what I'll leave you with. You want to be the expert in this real estate space. Again, you're going to speak to your SOI, whatever your SOI is, right? You're going to speak to your farm through YouTube Shorts, and that farm may be geographical. I'm here in Springfield subdivision, right? And it could be a demographic, could be nurses and doctors, it could be first responders and firemen, it could be whatever you want it to be as your niche. And then you're really focusing on that social media presence. And this is where the eyeballs are for you. This is going to help increase your traffic, as well as people are seeing this stuff. Literally, I don't go a week now without running into somebody who's like, oh my God, your YouTube thing was funny, or your TikTok thing was funny. And I do really so little in comparison to some of these people. It's where the people are seeing and having your engagement. All right. A little secret hack. You're going to love this. I'm going to share my screen. If you haven't heard of this before, this is an AI program to take your YouTube clip. You literally just put a YouTube link into this thing, and it's in opus.pro. opus.pro. It's a paid system. It's very inexpensive. And I think they have a free version as well for smaller amounts of videos, but you drop the link in there. And then what happens is it makes a link from a longer YouTube video. So you could put a 15-minute YouTube video and it will make a 15, a 60-second, a 3-minute. You could do whatever you want. And AI is building this for you. And it looks like this when it's done. Literally, I took a 45-minute webinar or a 45-minute Tuesday Titan interview I did with Bo. He climbed Mount Everest, and I plugged in the YouTube that we built for 45-minute interview into here, and it made this 1-minute video from it without me asking. By the way, it made 10 of them, and it gave me the ranking. This one's 98%, 96%, 95%. It was mind-blowing. So I'll play it for you so you can get a feel for it. But again, 45-minute video plugged into here. It did all the AI computations. It put texting on it. It's pretty amazing. So check it out. Love that. And I want to humanize it for a minute. There had to be a time where you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. And I don't know if I should do a 15-city tour. You're human, right? We all have those things that are 200,000-year-old primal protection mechanisms. We just have to fight them. And that's what I got out of your book from front to back. I got that. You just fought those primal instincts of quitting and not good enough and all these things. And that's what makes you stand out. You're definitely a Titan. Thank you for being on Tuesday Titans. It's been an amazing time. When we leave this, you have a choice, right? Bo, I think you're going to impact people for quite a while with your book and your story, but you, the listener, has the same ability to impact other, like Bo just said, right? Get out of the drunk monkey, get out of the I'm not good enough, get out of somebody else's narrative that's holding you back, and live large, live extreme, and climb your mountain. Okay, so just a sampling of that, and that was not Bo speaking, obviously, but it gave me like 10 clips throughout this 45-minute interview, and it put the texting on it, it branded it, it did all this stuff for me, and it blew my mind. So if you haven't used something like that, if you do any kind of YouTube, then you could put them in, make all your 15 and 60-second clips for TikTok and all these other things. Really, really quite powerful. It's called opus.pro AI. All right. Second to the last, number 4. Number 4 is unsolicited CMAs. They're still the king. The unsolicited CMAs by far are the language that the sellers are interested in. They're watching the market. They're watching homes for sale in their area. I suggest Cloud CMA. It's supplied for free in some MLSs. I use it and I have to pay for it because it's not available in my Oregon MLS. It was free in the California MLS. So if I do stuff in California, I could still use it. Had to pay for it here in Oregon. But Cloud CMA will do it a CMA in literally 5 minutes. And the language is quite simple. It's, hey, and I'm going to use somebody on the screen I'm looking at. Hey, Tracy, this is Randy Byrd over at eXp Realty. How are you today? Hey, listen, I know you didn't ask for anything, but I did a CMA on your property as part of a bigger CMA in the neighborhood. And I was just curious, do you want a copy of it or would you like me to throw it away? Because I've already done the work and I just thought I'd be courteous and ask you if you needed it or not. And so if that feels out of integrity for you, do it first. Do it for 5 minutes and then make the phone call. It doesn't feel out of integrity to me, because if I do one for Springfield subdivision of 500 homes and I look at all the listings and the past sales and I do the CMA, that address within that 500 homes is a subject property, right? In my opinion, that is a subject property. So I could say, hey, I did your house as part of the subject property of me doing the one over at 123 Banana Street around the corner from you. It just sold for $485. And I was curious, do you want this report or would you like me to throw it away? I'm unattached to it. And when you do it this way, as opposed to, hey, Colleen, this is Randy Byrd with eXp Realty. I'd love to provide you a free market analysis and free everything. Just let me barge into your home and take some pictures and meet you. And that's what they hear, right? But when you say, hey, I don't need to come over. It's done. Would you like a copy of it? What's your email address? I'll send it over. Really powerful. All right. And it's actually, we used to get about 1 out of 20 when we measured this with Tom Ferry. 1 out of 20 people would be interested in this free CMA that we'd be willing to do for them. We changed the dialogue to this content and it went to 3 out of 10. So it's 30% of the people are interested in getting this email report. You've got their address, you've got their phone number now. You've sent them a CMA, they're squarely in your database. All this is happening just from, focusing on making these 2 contacts a day and sending out 2 unsolicited CMAs a day. It's powerful. It's probably could be at the very top of the list as number 1. But in my laying this out today, that's definitely in the top 5 list. When you're doing the unsolicited CMAs, just focus on something simple as a goal for you. 1 a day, 2 a day is a great number. 2, 10, 40 really rolls off the tongue, right? We focus on that with a lot of different things. 2 things a day equals 10 a week equals 40 a month. That's big when you keep in the discipline of doing that. And then last, number 1 on my list, drum roll, please. Number 1 is actually social media with a twist. It's being very, very specific about the 5-5-5 that I coach and teach, meaning 5 likes, 5 comments, and then 5 DMs a day. So let me lay this out because you can get confused. 5 different people on Facebook. They post that they're at Lake Havasu. They post that they just had 2 babies, twins like I did. They post something on Facebook. You like it. You comment on that one particular post to say something that's somewhat personal, but it's not ultra personal because everybody sees it in the comments, right? Hey, they're cutest babies ever. What are their names? Something generic like that. The power of this strategy, though, is now go to DM. And in the DMs where you get more personal. Hey, Tracy, we've been friends here for Facebook a long time. Man, congratulations on the twins. So amazing. I'm just curious. I didn't want to ask on the public forum, but do you have other grandbabies? Or do you have other kids? Or how many, what's your family look like? Whatever it may be, to personalize this conversation. And then that will lead into, well, hey, great talking to you. I'm a real estate broker. If I can do anything to serve or help you or anything, let me know. And then, by the way, other things are going to come out of that relationship building. But if you do this, focus on 5 people per day. In my boot camp, this is by far the number 1 thing that has brought listings, that have brought activity. Rich Hendrickson's crushing it with this. I know Kenny's on the call. He did very, very well with this strategy. And I don't know, Kenny, if you want to give a 30-second, I didn't ask you to, and I'm putting you on the spot, but you remember doing this strategy and some of the responses that you were getting from this.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really important just to stay in front of everybody. I made sure to not make it all about real estate, just kind of mix up personal and real estate stuff. It worked pretty well.
Okay, cool. And so we've looked at this, and this is bringing in 2 to 3 transactional pieces of business in our 12-week program. And it's really identified to this one thing, because what it is social media. We have these big followings, but we really don't focus on the things that are having the immediate direct conversations, right? We do a lot of stuff out there in the world, but this allows you to then DM them, have a relationship conversation with them, and that's going to have them looking at your content. And that's going to drive more traffic to your content, because once you message somebody, the first thing they do, click on your name and they go to your profile and see who you are, what's going on, right? Unless they directly know you. But many of us have 500, 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 people on our Facebook. Those are our sphere of influence that we're really not using to the highest level. So those are my top 5. Hopefully you enjoyed this today. And, if you want to pick out 1 or 2 of those things to really go big on, I think that's the greatest coaching advice I can give you, is pick the things that really focus, something that attracts to you, something that rings with you. And we'll be here to support and help you along the way. I appreciate you all. I'm going to turn it back over to Tom Daves.
All right. All right. Hey, I have pages of notes. If you just take one thing and put it into action consistently, I guarantee you next week, you will have a great report for all of us. So just take one thing and just put it into action. Thank you so much. We've got a lot of great things. Of course, Byrd is coming up this Friday. We've got database expert Chris Backiel. He's going to talk about all things database, sphere of influence, and how to leverage more what Randy shared. So, hey, thanks, y'all. Have a great week, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, Randy. Good job.
Thank you. You bet.
Thanks,
Have
Randy.
a great day, Tom, and everybody. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Great job, Randy.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey,
Thanks,
Tom,
Matt.
real quick on that database, is that going to be KV core driven? Is that the focus?
Yeah, KV core
Okay,
driven.
great.
Yep.
Thanks.
But he'll hit on them all. So don't miss it.
Awesome.
Thanks. See you guys.
Festus, good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. I met one of your buddies yesterday.